Look at my hoodie. Look at this. 1955, Rosa Parks. This is a direct quote from Rosa Parks. Nah. If you know history, you understand that joke. It's a direct quote. Miss, can you? Nah. End quote. Alright, here we go. In today's webinar or seminar, we're gonna talk about something I've been playing with for a long time, but especially now lately because I don't want to. Yvette, you're awesome. Thank you. Wait. Here we go. What we're gonna talk about is something that's gonna help you guys a lot now. Because what's happening now is that most of us are going out of lockdown, or lockdown is ending slowly but surely for some of us. For some of us. And some of us are going back to work. Even if lockdown is not ending, you still like, vacation is over for most of us. Going back to work, going back to 9 to 5, a lot of people are like pulling strings on you. So now is the moment, just like Erika said, like her biggest win was, or her win for the week was that, yo, I actually did my workouts, even though my regular job has started. So I want to talk about intensity over duration, or intensity over volume even, but specifically intensity over duration. And what that means is that intensity is when it comes to training. Well, we're gonna apply this to dancing also, you know what we do. But intensity obviously is how hard are you pushing your workout? How hard are you going? Like how intense are your workouts versus how long are your workouts? What is duration, right? And what that means is that, let me just set the mode, so I forgot to do it. And when it comes to intensity, there is few things that you need to think about. But the problem is that most trainers out there, and I know this myself because I am a trainer, I've been working in a corporate gym, but what most trainers are telling you is that you need to come to the gym to gain process. You need to come and work in the gym together with me to make your progress. You need to come, and then bodybuilders are selling you a dream saying that you need to come and spend 2 hours at the gym. Like when I was training, I was spending 6 hours at the gym, blah, 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 blah. And if that's your goal to become a bodybuilder, again, I always say, don't listen to me. Don't listen to what I gotta say. I can help you to get there, but it's not my main focus. It's not my area of expertise. So the problem is for some of us is that we're living so hectic lives, with or without lockdown. So spending 2 hours at the gym or doing a training that is 1.5 hours long is just not working. It's just not working for us. That's why we made them so that we can have them shorter. But there is a science behind it. There is a science behind it. There is not only like, okay, let's give them shorter workouts so they're not going to get the results that they want. There's a science behind our dance-specific training. And some of the benefits to doing this HIIT training that most of us are doing, in some way or another, are, and I'm not only talking about HIIT training when I'm talking about intensity, but let's start there at least. And the thing with HIIT training is that you're shocking your body, you're shocking your entire system. So you get cardiovascular results, which means that you can dance longer, you have a healthier body, you can breathe better, you get a stronger heart. It's cancer preventing, it's diabetes preventing, it helps with the insulin levels. There is just so many benefits that it has direct benefits from it. But I also want to talk about, like, we're gonna talk about this later. The topic is like, I'm gonna give you 3 ways or 3 steps to boost your intensity in the gym or at home training. But first I really want to hammer this down a little bit. And we talked about it yesterday, we talked about it last week. It's how intense are you going? How hard are you going on everything? Are you constantly trying to raise the bar? Because your body is responding to progression. One of the main training principles outside of specificity. Mahin. Specificity.
Specificity.
What Mahin said. There are some training principles that are evergreen, like we can't deny them. The word Mahin used is one of them. Progression is one of them. Individualization is one of them, which is like what we are doing in the inner circle. We do making individualized programs. But progression means that you're constantly adding something, making the breaks shorter, making your sets longer, making the time under tension, how much you're flexing or how much you're tensing, more powerful, more intensive. So that principle is so freaking important when it comes to anything. And the same thing goes with your dancing, right? All of these principles, they're evergreen, meaning they don't only apply to one areas of your life. So we just talked about training or burning fat and building muscle because it's the same thing. But dancing works the same thing as well. At some point, if you are constantly dancing with the same person, you're constantly doing the same routines, the same tricks, you're not going to develop. Like, you're going to become really good at those. But for you, in order to reach to the next level, you have to swim with the sharks. You have to get out in the deep water. You have to change something. You have to dare to ask another person to dance. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to dare to dance with the professional in your community where you live. You have to dare to go to festivals. You have to try new things. Go harder. Boost. Instead of going single tempo, go double tempo. Do new rounds. Dance more. You're boosting the intensity on the dance floor as much as you're boosting it off the dance floor, in the weight room, at your home, when doing home training. Thumbs up if that made sense. Perfect. Take risks. Thank you. Exactly. I don't know which Christina who wrote it because we have two, but take risks is definitely one. Is definitely one. I mean, taking risks is like in fighting, it's called, in MMA, they say it's like you're getting the rub, is what it is. And getting the rub means that it's like when you step inside of the ring with someone who is so much better than you. When you step in the ring with someone who's so much better than you, even if you lose that fight, you still get the rub. You still get the rub. It's like he rubbed something against you, like you were rubbing. So it rubs off on you. And the same thing goes with your dancing. I remember first time I danced with Raquel, from Pablo and Raquel. First time I danced with Raquel, it was like, wait, what? Like, I didn't know I was this good, you know what I mean? It's like, wait, what? It's like, you can do basics like that? And I know the ladies who's been dancing with Jorge, for example, or Pablo, or Kiko, or whoever, like Luis from Luis and Andres, like when you're dancing with them, it's like, wait, what? Like, this is how dancing is supposed to be? Nobody told me before. And make no mistakes, I know it wasn't me who made myself feel good when I was dancing with Raquel. It's obviously her level. But I still got the rub. Like, she still rubbed off on me. It was still a moment of like, wow, like, I didn't know I can do that with my basics. And she told me. And if you as a man ever want to experience that, try dancing with the higher levels. Judith, for example. Anybody dance with Judith feels that. It's like, whoa, there is levels to basics. There is levels to flow and understanding of leading or following. And ladies, it's the same thing. Dance with Jorge, and I swear to you, It's gonna change completely your way of seeing dance. And that's boosting your intensity on the dance floor. That's what boosting your intensity on the dance floor is. And then when it comes to, let's move back to the weight room. Let's move back to, how do you boost your intensity during the weight room? Are you staying active? Like, how do you rest? So a regular rest time between training sets is anywhere to 45 seconds to up to 5 minutes. If you're doing powerlifting, like power training, you can rest all the way up to 5 minutes. I have those sets. I do 2 repetitions, and then I rest for 5 minutes. But I don't sit down and look on my Instagram for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? What I'm doing is that I'm staying active. I'm drinking, I'm shaking my body. It's like I'm getting ready to, okay, I'm gonna do 2 repetitions. I need all my focus to be at one spot right now. Not to fuck around and like, you know, be there, look at some ass, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not there to do that. I'm there to train. I'm there to stay focused. I'm there to stay focused on the workout. And that's what everybody should be doing. You also. So how are you approaching your lifts is what I'm trying to say. It's just some food for thought. And it's the same thing. Again, weight room and dancing is the same thing. What are you doing in between the dance breaks? Like, I'm not saying that all of your social dancing should be destroyed. It's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that sometimes social dancing is practice. Sometimes we actually go to social dance to practice, not to enjoy. Make no mistake, you enjoy that also. But I'm here to practice. I'm here to get better. Open your ears when you're standing and when you're not dancing. Open your ears. Understand the music. Look at the dancing. What are you seeing? Practice your basics. Practice your dancing while you're waiting for the next dance to come. Thumbs up if I'm making sense. Thumbs down if I should shut down my computer. Yeah, we good? We're chilling. Okay, perfect. Let's go back. Intensity over duration. A lot of us have weight loss goals. A lot of us wants to shred, like to lose a little bit of fat. Some more than others. The worst thing I'd like to argue, because you don't want to lose your muscle mass. When you say you want to lose weight, you're not saying you want to lose muscle mass. You want to lose fat, but you want to keep your muscle mass. Correct? And with that being said, you want to skip steady state cardio. I know it may sound contradicting, but steady state cardio, meaning just walking in moderate pace or doing the elliptical, even if you feel that you're sweating, even if you get a feeling of endorphins like leaving your body, is not optimal for you to keep your muscle mass. It just isn't. When you're walking, you burn approximately 7 to 9 calories per minute. Somewhere around there. There is science stating this. Or there is research stating this. Now, it's obviously individualized, so that's why 7 to 9, it's a pretty wide gap. But still something. But but with that, you're also damaging your muscles. There is science saying that cycling, like doing a lot of cycling, which I have done, will have a direct impact on the amount of muscles you have inside of your legs. So they will actually decrease if done on a steady state. Did that make sense for everyone? I see some question marks in your faces. Yeah? Perfect. Now, on the other hand, HIIT training, for example, doing exploding attacking your body will not only give you endurance, you will also burn more calories per minute. So you can burn up to 16 to 12 calories per minute doing HIIT training, which is far more, which is almost double from doing steady state cardio. Then again, we're talking about intensity over duration here. So that's why some of you are doing a lot of HIIT training. I'm putting you guys on a lot of HIIT training. Now, this is 3 steps that you can use to boost your intensity. Tip number 1. Step number 1. Wait, let me see. I'm seeing some comments. I just want to make sure that everybody understood what I just said. So we don't have calories burned estimated for each workout. But what if I can't do HIIT training? Klaus, you should be cycling. You're a special character, and your situation, you should cycle, my brother. You shouldn't give a fuck about this. Now, during what I'm gonna tell you now, these 3 steps I'm gonna tell you, they will apply for you also. They will apply for you also, definitely. But remember what we talked about. There is individualization. That's a training principle. That's a dance principle. You need to have that. This doesn't apply for exactly everyone. There is the word I can't pronounce, but the one Maheen said, specificity. It's that word. And you need to have that also, that into account. You need to have progression into account. So maybe you can't do HIIT training right now, but you can still do intervals. Maybe you can't do high intensity intervals, but you can still do intervals. Here we go. 3 steps to boost your intensity. Step number 1, have shorter breaks. That's simple. Have shorter breaks, your heart will keep beating faster, you will put time under tension, you will rest shorter, which means that your body won't recover as much. So you will boost the intensity. And then you might ask, how long should I rest, Sebastian? Well, it depends. You can rest anywhere, like I said before, from 45 seconds to, in most of our cases, regarding who's watching, 3 minutes would be a max. But you want to keep it, you want to find a sweet spot. And only you can find that sweet spot. Because you want to rest just enough for you to be able to get 100% output on your next lift or your next set. Even if it's a HIIT training. All right? That makes sense? That's step number 1. Very simple. Keep them short. Keep your rest period short. Tip number 2, how to boost your intensity. Stay active during your resting. Or as I like to say, tip number 2 is dance during your rest. There is a reason why that when we're always doing our workouts, I'm always dancing. I'm always moving in between. Always moving in between the workouts or in the sets. Always moving between the sets. You're boosting your intensity, like you're constantly moving. I'm burning calories just standing here. I got a hoodie on, or I had a hoodie on. I'm moving around. I'm constantly talking with my hands. It's like you're getting, your NEAT is getting higher, which is the amount of calories you are burning when you are not doing physical activity. And when you're resting, you're not doing physical activity. So for you to just move a little, you're burning more calories. Now, I understand that some of you don't want to be the person who's dancing at the gym. I'm that guy. I'm that guy when I'm at the gym. I don't give a fuck what nobody has to say about me on my gym. They probably think I'm a madman. And truth is, I probably am. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I care about is my results. So if you don't want to be that guy, just do jumping jacks. Just do jumping jacks, or at least walk around shake loose and get focused. Gets focused. You can't dance and stay active. You're doing all of these crazy moves in your dancing while resting, so you lose your focus on what you're doing. I'm here to train. I'm here to do one more set of something. That's where your focus should lay on. So even if I'm dancing, I'm still focused. I'm probably even dancing off beat, but I'm focused on what I should be doing. Thumbs up if that made sense. Perfect. Now, there is also research behind this. It's not just something I don't take this out of a hat and say dance because it's dance-specific training. No, imagine what we as dancers are doing. We are constantly moving. So with different tempos, we're moving with different tempos. So if you're dancing with someone, let's say you're dancing a Cuban salsa, there is moments where they will be relaxed. There will be a moment that is more relaxed. And then there is moments that will be heavy. Like now it's time to go. Now it's time to go hard on. Now the intensity just shoot up. There is the break in the song or something is happening. And you want to catch that moment. You want to be able to have that endurance, that muscular endurance, to be able to perform at your highest when it's happening. So you need to be able to dance easy when you need to. Now I'm dancing, the music is soft, I don't need to go hard. And then when it's time to go hard, you need to be able to go higher in the intensity, to be able to. Did that make sense? Like it's dance-specific training what we are doing here. We're doing dance-specific training, we're not just doing training. Then we can go and do Zumba if we want to. And I love Zumba, make no mistake. It's tip number 2. Let me see who is here. You guys still with me?
Now it's number 3, no?
Now it's number 3. Kristin, I don't know where you are, but that sun, like you know what I mean? Like you're getting that golden glow and everything. Where's my water? Yeah, life is tough, no? Life looks really tough. But yo, you're still here, you know what I mean? Round of applause for Christina, who is out in the woods with a canoe or something, and her friend, but she's still attending the webinar. She's still focused on moving forward. Round of applause for that. And round of applause for David for serving me ice water during this webinar. Serving me ice water. You know what I mean? Here we go. Tip number 3 on boosting your intensity is that when you're doing your last set, add something special to it. Add a drop set. Add a superset. Do an AMRAP set. Add something that will boost, that will really like squeeze everything out. Raise your hand if you know what a drop set is. Okay, raise your hand if you know what a superset is. Raise your hand if you know what an AMRAP set is. Okay, cool. No worries. Meathead Terminology 1-on-1. Here we go. A drop set means that you're starting really heavy with your weights or your resistance bands. You're taking multiple resistance bands, or you're stepping wide on your resistance bands. So everything becomes heavier. And then you go as many reps as you can. So let's say I'm doing biceps curls. I have 10 kilos in each hand. I do as many sets as I can, or as many reps as I can. And then as soon as I start to swing with my back, I drop my 10 kilos and I pick up 9 kilos. Then I do as many reps as I can on 9 kilos. And as soon as I start to swing with my back, I place my weight down and I take 8 kilos. So I drop the weight. Drop sets. A superset, on the other hand, is while you're training two opposing muscles at the same time or after each other without taking a break. For example, I'm doing biceps curls. As you guys can see, I'm obviously doing biceps curls, you know. you know what I mean. There's one thing this guy is doing is biceps curls. So, so I'm doing biceps curls, and straight after, as soon as I hit my weight, I drop the weight, or as soon as I hit my target reps, I drop it, and I take the cable. Let's redo it because I want to be very clear here. I'm on the cable machine. I'm on the cable machine right now. I'm doing biceps curls and the weight is down there. And then I'm moving the cable thing up and now I'm doing triceps extensions. Make sense? Everybody knows those two exercises? Perfect. I start with my curls. I do 10. As soon as I'm done with my 10, I drop it, I change the machine, I put it all the way up, and now I do triceps extensions without resting. So I train my biceps, and then I go straight into my triceps. Why am I doing that? Because there is tons of research out there supporting that when you are doing that, you're actually growing your biceps or your opposite muscles faster. Why? I don't know. I don't really know. I don't feel that I need to know because I trust research. There's people that are way smarter than I am. I just trust what they say and apply it. Another example, I'm doing squats. As soon as I'm done with my squats, I go down and I do push-ups. That's a superset. I'm resting my legs while I'm pushing on my upper body. Made sense, right? Perfect. Now, an AMRAP set means that you're doing let me spell out AMRAP. AMRAP. As many reps as possible. Or as I like to call it, you're going balls to the wall. Like you go full out. You don't hold back here. If I'm doing an AMRAP set and I'm doing curls, I'm swinging like I'm on a, I don't know what those are called, but like a swing. Like I'm swinging, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm all the way here. I'm all the way here. Why? Because I know how to do sheet reps. I know how to do sheet reps, but maybe not every one of you do. But then AMRAP is really like if it says 10 on your schedule, you don't care, you go until you can't anymore. You have a person behind you that's supporting you and can just lift you up if you are falling down or if you are like getting fatigued. You do as many reps as possible. But not every one of us are skilled enough to do that. So then a drop set is perfect. Like I can't do an AMRAP set if I'm doing a bench press. If I'm doing a bench press or an overhead press and I'm doing AMRAP, like and I don't have David or someone who's my height and my strength next to me, like I'm gonna die. Like there is a big chance of me getting really injured if I attempt to do an AMRAP set while doing a bench press. If I bench press on 110 kilos and I feel like, fuck it, let me go on rep number 5 and I just drop it here, David is not there to lift that bar off, I'm gonna injure myself. So that's why we're having different ways of approaching it. You need to shock your body. Intensity over everything. And then the last thing, that makes sense, right? We have tip number 1. Let's do a quick summary. Quick number 1, shorter breaks. Tip number 1, shorter breaks. Tip number 2, dance between your sets or stay active during your sets. Tip number 3, do a drop set, a superset, or an AMRAP at the last set. And then a bonus tip is toss in dance-specific training. Toss in dance-specific training in your workouts, even if it's just 5 minutes. Even if it's just 5 minutes. I promise you, we have too many testimonials right now of dancers, and to be honest, it's like it's you guys who are here. Like we have too many of us are saying is like, I'm losing weight, or I'm becoming a stronger follower, or a smoother leader. I have better balance while dancing. My knees are stronger. So use that to your advantage. Do it before or after your additional workout.